Fire Service Warrior video blog. What we're going to do today, we're going to do a little bit of fitness stuff. We're going to demonstrate one particular lift for everybody that folks have a tendency to have some problems with that I think is critical for us as firefighters, and that's the deadlift. People get scared about the deadlift because they see it as a real lower back exercise, and a lot of folks who don't deadlift properly wind up having problems with their lower back. I can say that I've had lower back issues before in my life, and deadlifting as well as chiropractic care has really fixed those things. For a lot of us that have chronic lower back pain, and that is something that firefighters experience on a regular basis, I think there's one key reason that we neglect to take care of, and that's hamstring flexibility. If you've got a bulging disc, if you have a herniated disc, if you have some kind of physiological problem like that, you need to get that addressed. However, we have to remember that the way that hamstring attaches at the rear is putting constant pressure on the lower back. So we're going to start off by just demonstrating a real quick and easy exercise to help with some hamstring mobility. This is one that I learned that works great. Just grab a dumbbell of any weight that you can feel comfortable with. I would not go above about 40 pounds with this. Put your feet shoulder width apart and just slowly lower forward and come back up. And forward and come back up. I've always just referred to these as hamstring pulls. They may have another name, I don't know. As you get more and more comfortable, as your back opens up, as those hamstrings warm up, step up onto a low plyo box, step up onto a bench, step up on something and get a little bit of height where you can elongate that stretch. Essentially what you're doing is just a warm-up stretch for the hamstring, okay? For those of you that have that constant lower back pain, you're probably part of the tight hamstring club. The fact of the matter is, none of us are 11 years old anymore. And if we haven't been doing some serious flexibility and mobility work, those hamstrings are going to tighten up on us and pull that lower back out of position. So do a little bit of the mobility work, do a little bit of the hamstring stretching to get that warmed up. Deadlifting now. Deadlifting is a critical skill set for us as firefighters because oftentimes if we are called upon to move a victim out of a building or move one of our brothers or sisters out of a building, what we're going to have to do is some type of lifting movement. It's a deadlift, getting something from the ground to waist height where we can control it more effectively, okay? Using a barbell to train the deadlift is perhaps the most ergonomically efficient way of doing this skill. What we're trying to do is train not just the back, but the whole posterior chain, the whole back part of the leg, to do the work, to move the weight. So what I want you to do, anytime you're going to lift, I would recommend that you wear a good firm-soled shoe. The fact of the matter is if you try lifting in running shoes, that cushion is going to cause, it's going to compress when you go to lift, and that's going to cause your back to go out of alignment. It's going to decrease your ability to maintain good stabilization. You really want to cue those abs tight so that they help fire and keep the spine in a good position. Alright, so we're going to show you from the front, and then I'm going to spin the bar and show you a side view of a deadlift practice. What I've got set up right here is 135 pounds using bumper plates. Okay? Pretty straightforward lift. Two 45-pound plates in the bar. Alright? I like to take a position just about shoulder width apart. My toes are pointed just slightly out. The bar is over the middle of my foot. If you look at Mark Ripetoe's stuff, if you look at basic physics, you're going to find out that this barbell has to wind up over the center of your foot if you want it to be an efficient lift. Ultimately, gravity is going to put it there no matter what, so you may as well start out with it there. When you drop down into your starting position, come down, take a grip that you feel comfortable with. For me, I put my thumbs out just to the start of the knurl on the bar and grip there. We don't want bent elbows. Good straight elbows. Make sure that the butt's low, the back is tight and arched, and then give your lift. Get a good deep breath, brace your abs, and pull. And on that pull, you can see that my shorts pull up a little bit because that bar stays in contact with my leg the entire way up. When you get up here, at a lighter weight, you can feel comfortable with going ahead and reversing the movement. Okay? As we get to heavier weights, one of the reasons that we'll go ahead and use bumpers is so that we can drop the bar. Alright, so I'm going to spin this bar now so that we can look at this from a side view. Joy of bumpers. All right? So, in profile, I get my good body position, bars just about over the middle of my foot, toes are slightly out, chest is high. I settle down into my starting position, and what you want to find is that right place for you. Everybody's femur is a different length. Everybody's forearms are a different length. But you really want to find that good starting position. Good lower lumbar arch, chest is up, shoulders are above or slightly in front of the bar. Good grip on the bar, neutral gaze, and lift. You can drop from the top. The reality is, if you focus on good deadlifting form and skill, you're going to improve your ability to move a load in a fire building, you're going to strengthen that posterior chain, you're going to increase flexibility in your hamstrings, and you're going to injury-proof yourself for the long run. For some folks out there, starting with the 45-pound plate will be too much. 135 pounds will be too heavy of a weight to start with. So, what I recommend, go out. Rogue Fitness or a couple other companies sell technique plates. This is the same diameter as that 45-pound plate, so it gives me that good starting position off the floor, but it weighs 5 pounds. So now my deadlift can start with 55 pounds, not 135 pounds. If you have bumper plates, you're in a whole lot better position because of the scalability and being in a good starting position so that that pull off the floor is ideal. If you can't get technique plates and you need to just start with the bar, get yourself a couple of small boxes and just measure that distance on your plate and set yourself up so that you can pull off those boxes. It's another viable option to get that good pull off the floor. Tip for this week, do your work, do your lifting. Look into the other resources that are out there. Look at markripetostartingstrength.com. Look at CrossFit.com's website for their videos on deadlifting. Google deadlift videos, and you're going to see a ton of options and techniques. Look at them with a critical eye. Build that kinesthetic awareness to know that you're using good lifting mechanics. Make it happen. Have a great week. Cheers.